Hello ladies and gentlemen, Panzer here, and welcome back to Banished and the village of Cokesvillo. Things seem to be going alright. We have a lot of food stockpiled up, and this rain sound is really making me want to go to the bathroom. So, I'm just having a look around the village, and I've noticed that a family of deer have moved in. It's almost as though they've run away from the hunter's cabin all the way up here, and they've decided to come and live here instead. Because, you know, why not? Why not move in with the villagers that want to eat you? And as we're over here, well, we have the drying shack still making quite a lot of fish. 486 in the previous season, that's not bad. How much is this bringing in? Apparently, the fishing dock is fishing up pumpkins as well. So, not exactly what we wanted them to do. But you know what? It's okay. I think that's perfectly okay. Right, so we've got this tiny barn over here, and it's nicely distributing all of the fish and all the other food. In fact, I think the villagers actually come and put some here. This one hasn't been used yet, but aside from this barn over here, I think they actually bring some of it and try to distribute it across, so I'm not entirely sure if that's what's happening, but it does appear like they're doing something along those lines, which is quite interesting. So, we don't quite need a builder yet at the moment, so I'm going to reduce that back down to 0. That's going to let them sort of do their thing for a little bit. Now, of course, it is early spring, so it is coming to the time where the farmers go back into the fields and they start planting up again. And of course, we have a lot of food saved over, so a lot of food that comes in is really going to bolster our food stockpile. I sort of blanked out for a moment there. I wasn't sure what the word would be. But I do really like the little medieval village we've got going on down here. These houses are quite big looking. I've just noticed they are actually quite large. But it's starting to come along quite nicely, I think. And I'm going to start putting some more houses down very soon. We have 22 adults and 11 children, so not quite time to expand just yet. Maybe I think we're going to kind of hold off on that for a little while. Now, I think we've got a lot of spare labor here, so what I'm actually going to do with that is we're going to see if there's any more stone we can collect here, as we will be needing that stone once we start really expanding. There's a lot more stone over here, actually. So we're going to grab all of that. Just get the 4 laborers that we have available doing that. And I think we could also cut down some trees. You know, I think what we could do is do a sort of resource clear right here. Because this is within the forester's range, so they will actually... well, they should be able to grab all of that. Now, we're not really too full with our stockpile just yet. I don't know if we're going to need to expand that, but we do have another stockpile just here. So they have a bit of more space to start putting those resources down. And I think that should be fine for the most part if we just let them go ahead and grab all of this stuff. So they are going to get the stone first, which we're going to need for new houses in the following year. But I think what we're going to also need is a bit more wood, because we are on our limit of firewood, but we're going to need to raise that limit very soon. And the same goes for tools. We have 30 tools as our limit, and we have 35 stored, which is fine for now, but eventually we are going to need to up that to probably 40 or even 50 once the population goes up. So I think we will actually need to get these resources stockpiled away as quickly as possible. So I'm just going to speed things up here, and we're going to see what happens. Alright, so we're well into summer now, and we have collected quite a lot more stone, actually. I think our stockpiles of stone are definitely not going to run out anytime soon. So in the meantime, I'm going to grab ourselves a builder here, and we're going to start building something from the Medieval Town mod set. Now, remember I did say we were getting a lot of wheat here, and that is the reason why I was getting... that extra wheat and not just pumpkins. I mean, I could very easily plant pumpkins across the entire fields and people would be okay with that. But the reason why we want to do that is because of one of the things you can do with the Medieval Town mod. So let me see if I can find the right menu for it. And here it is. We can get ourselves mills. Now we can have a windmill. Unfortunately, those sails don't seem to actually turn, which is a little bit disappointing. But we can get ourselves a water mill, which will sit just here on the water, of course. And the water wheel actually turns. And what this is used for is for turning wheat into flour. And there is something we can definitely do with that. So just gonna get a bit of a road going, I think, just around here. And this, of course, is going to connect all the way just right onto the end of the farm. So we have our supply of wheat going straight there. So, of course, we can extend the main street. None of these roads are being built yet, which is a little bit disappointing. But what we're going to do with that is we're going to turn that wheat into bread. So we have a bunch of food stores here. We've got a medieval bakery, which can be used to make bread, cakes, and pies. So let's grab that. I'm going to have the next street going down here. And we're going to put the next lot of houses in between. So, of course, we are expanding a lot faster than initially planned. But not too fast. Definitely not too fast, I don't think. So, let's put that road in place there. We can have our nice little... I don't think we have space for the alleyway behind there like I thought we would. But that's fine. So we've got our one builder who's going to do that bakery first. So that's perfectly fine. Alright, so it's late summer, and I've just noticed we've had 4 new children born. So we've got now 15 children to feed, which is going to be a little bit of a problem, because that's nearly the... It's nearly half the population are now children, so a lot more food consumption that isn't going anywhere just yet. As any parent knows, of course, the kids just eat all the food and do absolutely nothing. And that is the gist of how it works in Banished as well. So we do have a bit of an issue with that, I think, and hopefully that does get sorted soon enough. Hopefully some of these kids do grow up and become working adults soon enough. But in case they don't, at least, you know, we have enough food saved over for that. And of course, now into early autumn, and all of the farms are being harvested, so there's a lot of wheat that we will have stockpiled as well that we will be able to use in the watermill here once it's complete. It is going to take some time for that to be completed. We are a little bit short on labour at the moment, unfortunately, but that's kind of to be expected, really. So while they are clearing a lot of these resources, it is going to take a little bit more time before we have the labour available to start putting these buildings together. But, you know, we'll get there in time, I think. You know. And we have an interesting predicament here now with autumn falling. We have actually reached a food limit, which is not something I would have expected. So we're just going to up the limit to... you know what, let's put that at 10,000. Now, we don't need that much food, and we're not producing that much food, but I do want them to just store that much, because, frankly, although the barns are getting a little bit full, this one very clearly isn't, so we've got more than enough space for that, and frankly, it doesn't seem to make much sense to have a food limit just yet anyway. We want to stockpile as much as we possibly can, so I want them to get all of this stuff done as quickly as possible before winter hits. Alright, so I have seen a notification that the stockpiles are getting full, and that is, I guess, to be expected, really, with how much we are collecting. So what I'm going to do, since we do have a blacksmith and a tailor here, we're going to actually put these stockpile there, so that they do have space to do that. And it is going to need clearing. I'm wondering if there's a better place for a stockpile. I mean, I guess we could put a stockpile here as well. Just a little one... Yeah, that should be just fine as well. So we've got enough space, and that shouldn't be an issue for now. Alright, coming into the first snowfall of the year, and the watermill is actually getting built. You can actually see that there. The builder is in place. We have our dirt roads now very nicely blending into the snow here. And I think we are going to lose this last little bit of crop here. It is early winter after all. Which is not good. That's 18% that might go to waste. I really, really don't like that, but it's There's not a lot we can really do with that. But with the extra labour coming in from the farms now, there's the farmer going in, hopefully they're able to get all of this before it goes. That is a lot of wheat that we have left over, though, so that's okay. Quite a lot of our stockpile is actually wheat right now. But that's fine, you know, we will work our way through it. So this is getting built now, and so we could start seeing a lot of flour become a quite nicely used there. And of course the baker now just needs a builder on there as well, so I don't know, I think what we could do just with this is kind of working on making use of that winter labor that comes in and try to get these buildings completed before, you know, the new year. Because we do have 17 children now, and I think we really do need people to start moving out. Oh, hang on, a couple of them have become laborers. So I'm going to steal one of them to become builders, because we do need another builder now. And hopefully all of that gets done. I can see that this crop's slowly dying off now, because it is winter. But the farmer is coming back. So hopefully they're able to get most of this done. Oh, it is really dying off though, I think. So we might lose that little bit of wheat, but you know, in the long run I think it will be perfectly fine. Alright, and there's the watermill completed. So I'm going to assign a mill person. I don't know what you call it actually. A miller. Well, okay, that kind of makes sense. And we're going to turn wheat into flour. Unfortunately, you can't set a work limit on these sort of buildings, so you do need to sort of work and unwork kind of thing when it comes to that. Let's just reassign that. There we go. And you do have to monitor that a bit so you don't turn all of your wheat into flour, because I don't think they can actually use flour as a food item. I mean, I wouldn't want to, but I don't think they can actually do that. That being said, I don't know how you would actually eat wheat on its own. If you do know, don't forget to let me know down in the comments, because I really don't know how that sort of thing works. So, do let me know. So, once we get some flour made, we will start seeing that be turned into bread over here at the bakery. So we can make bread. I don't know if we can make pies yet in this one, or in this version of it. It seems to just be cakes and bread, but, you know, bread is fine too. We can actually get people to eat bread. So we're going to need another baker working on here. So they don't have any materials yet because there is no flour being made. But I think it will actually keep people happier and maybe healthier. I don't know if that works that way. But I mean, the assumption here is that you're going from sort of raw food, such as fish and meat and just plants like wheat and all that, into better quality food like bread, dried fish, and so on. So I think, honestly, something like this could actually be very, very useful. Now, I do know that we have a bit of venison left over. We don't have a lot of hunters, and we could probably do with one more hunter just to bring that sort of food in. We don't need as many builders now, though. And I was actually thinking that we could start preparing some of that extra meat into other food sources as well, because we do have a butcher's shop. So we could put the butcher's shop next to the bakery right here. Could put it sort of this way. Do quite like the look of that. So it sort of looks a bit like this instead. I do like that. So we could put that down there, and that will actually allow them to prepare, I believe it's chops or something from venison, or steaks or something. But yeah, it prepares a different type of food as well. I don't know if that's really just immersion reasons, but I do like it, so I'm just going to do it anyway. Now, a couple more kids have grown up as well. We now have 26 adults, so that's coming along quite nicely. I think they're going to have homes to move in. Yeah, we have a hunter living here. Nobody's living there yet because it's not built. We have the farmers living here, very close. So yeah, a lot of the farmers there. Although this one is a blacksmith, a tailor, and 2 children. That's interesting. And then this house here is a home to a hunter and a herbalist. Her name is Uniqua. Alright then. So really, for now, things really are kind of moving along. Alright, and as the 5th year begins with early spring, we've got our butcher's shop now making roast, actually. You can make lamb chops out of mutton, and you can make steak out of beef, but we've got venison, so we can make roast. So that's a deer roast, I guess. And we now have our bakery working as well. They've got flour there. You can actually see the sacks of flour around there. That's what it sort of looks like. And then these are the ovens. So little chimneys out here. We've got the sort of wood-fired ovens and all of the bread on sale. So they are actually making bread, which is quite nice to see. I don't know how much it actually costs to do that, like how much all of that's actually worth. But hopefully it's worth something. So we've got our guy over here now making the road so people can get around quickly. And I honestly want to start upgrading a lot of these houses. I could actually try that. Let's upgrade this one on the corner to a stone house. So we have a couple of people that are now homeless. I'm going to upgrade this one as well. So we're going to have 2 stone houses there. Hopefully that sort of completes the look, really. You know, I'm going to do another one over here as well. So we're going to have stone houses. We're going to... what are we low on? Supply of firewood. Oh, well, that's not going to be an issue. We've got a woodcutter over here working away. I probably do want to grab some more wood over here, so just harvest some of these trees here, just in case. So we got people that are now temporarily homeless, but once these houses are upgraded, we're going to see how it all kind of turns out. Alright, and here we are with these stone houses. Definitely a different look to them. But they do sit quite nicely with the medieval buildings over there, so not too bad overall. Quite resource heavy though, unfortunately, but they do complete the look a little bit better. I do prefer the look of the wooden houses though, if I'm honest, but generally the stone houses seem to be, I think, more beneficial overall. I mean, they are supposed to be warmer and everything, so they're probably better for the actual people. But these wooden houses do have a certain nice look about them. But for now, I'm going to leave it there. We've got our butcher's shop now up and running. How much are they producing? They're producing quite a fair amount of roast, actually. There we go. And I think these will get delivered directly to the nearest barn or stockpile there. So we've got flour over here. Let's see what else is over here. So we've got... oh, that's a drying shack. We've got flour over here as well. So it is getting quite nicely built. I just think that it over time, we're going to see a lot more variety of food being distributed and all that. And overall, I think it's going to start looking very, very, very pretty. But this, on its own, I mean, this looks pretty sweet. There's a nice little hamlet here. But I'm going to leave that one there. This is Banished, and from me and the people of Cokesville, thank you very much for watching. If you're enjoying the series so far and you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a like. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And my name is Panzer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.